Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is Ebbie with Ebbie Reviews, and today I don't know how much of a treat this is going to be, but well, we're going to see. We are going to review today, or start reviewing today, The Real Side Chicks of Charlotte. Now, when I first heard about this like a year or so ago, I really was like, who wants to see a bunch of broads cheating niggas? I don't understand. It doesn't compute. But we gonna try this and see what happens. I live in Charlotte, so I am familiar with most of the. Oh, come on, eyelash! I need my eye to be able to blink, baby. With most of the locations, so let's get into it and see where this takes us. So, the women of the cast, it's Nisha, Lynette, Shador, Deanna, Tiffany, Zarby, and Storm. Okay, so we start with Nisha, who was in the bed sleep with her girlfriend, whose name is Ren. And some nigga shows up into her house, who clearly, she said he broke in. She didn't give him the key. She don't know how he got in the house. Next thing you know, he's standing over her bed. She like, what the fuck are you doing in here? And he like, why the fuck you ain't answer my text messages? And she's like, nigga, how's you in my house? And he was like, why didn't you answer my goddamn calls? They get into a physical altercation. We 30 seconds into the show. 30 seconds in. These bastards is already fighting. So Nisha decides to give him a bop 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 to the head. Talk about, nigga, what you doing in my house? And he was like, well, what you doing laid up with some bitch? Who the fuck is this? And the girl in the bed's like, I'm not no bitch. I don't know who you talking to, bitch. Shut up. Nobody asked you. Nobody. No. That's not what we doing today. So, apparently, she calls the cops on him because he broke into her apartment because she didn't give him a key. Like, this lash is wonky than a mug. If y'all don't know, I have ADHD and stuff like this bothers me. Sorry. I'm gonna get my life together. So, she calls the cops on old boy. Now, cops come. Apparently, he called his wife. And she was like, yeah, he called his wife to come save her, but she don't know I'm finna whoop her ass too. What the wife do? She just got a phone call from her husband and showed up. Why'd you finna fight the wife? Wife is not wrong. You are wrong for fucking with her husband. Wife, not so much. What you mad at her for? So, talk about, he still got sent to jail and she didn't bail him out. And that's how that little vignette, that's how the show starts and jumps off with a bang. So, we then go to Shador, who's at an acting audition, and Zarby, who is a stripper, shows up to the audition to support her friend. However, she does kind of pull, oh God, what was the name of the girl from the Players Club? Not Diamond, but the other one who recruited her. She pulled one of those moves on her friend where she was like, you know, if you just come to the strip club, you can have all the money and you fuck these niggas and get these chicks, get them to cut a check and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I'll continue to fuck these side niggas, you know, and have them pay my bills, blah, 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 bloom, blue, blue, blue. Okay. So then we go to our token white girl, Brittany Briggs, and her unblended clip-in extensions. I need them to work on that for the next episode. And she is in the studio doing what she does. She sounded okay. From what little I heard, she sounded okay. I don't know if we'll get the full song sometime or like what's happening with that, but the song sounded fine. So her boo, Nikki, or her boyfriend, or whatever he's supposed to be. His name is Nicky Bands. He has colorful dreads. Um, he has colorful dreads and a cup of lean, or he had a cup with something in it. I made an assumption that it was lean because he seems like the type to lean. Um, Not attractive. Not at all. Not even a skosh. He, I'm sure, even though he's not my cup of tea, he's her cup of Hennessy, so more power to her. But he comes in, he's like there for 5 minutes. He gets a call. He like, oh shit, I gotta go. I got an emergency. And she was like, what, you just got here, boo? Blase bloom, blue, blue, blue. And he's like, nah, I gotta go. My Uber's outside. Somehow, I don't think that was an actual Uber. So, she was like, okay, whatever. Just, she's like, I know you want to be one of your side hoes. Just bring me back some money. Okay. Um, so, Lynette comes in to see, uh, Brittany, and, they're calling her Bricks. So I guess I should call her Bricks. I guess. Whatever. So Lynette comes in and she's talking to her, and she was like, yeah, he just left out 5 minutes ago, talking about he has to, he had an emergency and he had to go. So while she's talking to Lynette, she gets a phone call from Ralph, who is a celebrity hairstylist and a friend of the group. And so Ralph says to her, hey, boo, I just saw your boo jump in the car with Zarby. And she was like, Zarby? No, he just got in the Uber. And he's like, well, unless Zarby is now an Uber driver. He didn't get in the Uber. He got in the car with her. And she was like, that's what I'm talking about. And he was like, she was like, I don't care if he has other bras as long as it's not fucking up our money. If they bringing bags to the table, then they can join the party and get on the party bus. It seemed like a real bottom bitch mentality that Brick seems to have. But if she like it, I love it. So we then go to Storm, who is at the Candy Cabaret. She works at the Candy Cabaret, I believe. And she is in the dressing room. She has finished her set for the night, and she is counting up all of her tips. And it seems to be a mound of money on the floor. It's a bunch of ones. It looked like somebody it was a good night, possibly. So she's talking with her friend. Well, she says she's in her confessional. She's tired of stripping and all that stuff. And so her friend Strawberry comes in to help her count the money, as well as one of the other strippers who I guess just got there. Her name is Diana. Now, Storm gets a call from her boo Noah, and he's telling her, bring your ass straight home, come see me. And she's like, okay, it's going to take me about an hour or so. Whoop-de-woo. I'll see you when I get there. I'll come straight home. And so she's having a conversation with her friend Strawberry and saying that I don't want to strip anymore. I don't want to strip anymore. And Strawberry is saying, well, she's like, you need to do what I've been telling you. And it's take some of this money that you're making and invest it into a business that can get you out of, so you don't have to strip anymore. You don't have to do this. And so while they're having that conversation, Anna over in the corner, who just got there, is having a conversation about somebody booking her for a private party. And she says, oh, let me check with her and see if she can do it. Now, she then turns to Storm and says, hey, I just got booked for a private party, for a bachelorette party. Come and go with me. You know, we can go get this money. And she was like, well, I really can't, because I just told Noah that, I'm coming straight home. And she was like, well, just tell him that you decided to work late. And she was like, I can't tell him that I'm going to be here and then his ass show up here and then I'm not here. And he's going to be mad if I tell him that I went to go do a private party. And she was like, well, don't worry about it. We be back in 2 hours. And we be no later than 3:30. And she was like, I guess. And so she goes to do the private party with Diana and doesn't say anything to Noah. She doesn't say, I'm not coming. She doesn't say, I'm going to stay at work. She don't give him no heads up. She just keeps it pushing. She goes to get her money and keeps it pushing. Now it's Deanna, Lynette, and Tiffany are having lunch in Valentine. So they're discussing. So Deanna is bougie and Tiffany is Alky McAlky. So when they get there, she says that Tiffany's almost drunk the whole bottle of wine, which seems to irritate Deanna because she says she's bougie. Okay, so Lynette is having a housewarming party. She just moved into a condo, so she's having a housewarming party. Now, Tiffany is clearly intoxicated and says she just got unengaged. My condolences, but it could be a blessing in disguise. We don't know. So Lynette is saying that she has this stalk her ex boo or former boo, or I'm not sure what his title is, but she said that he's stalking her and she don't want to deal with him, and so he can't come to her housewarming party because her new potential boo is going to be there. And she clearly says that to, and this is where the start of none of your friends and none of the friends in this circle ain't worth shit. So she tells Deanna's raggedy ass, Deanna says that her friend guy, Corey something, his name is irrelevant, Corey something or another, is coming into town and she's gonna bring him to the housewarming. And she's like, oh, that's Playboy's friend. I'm telling you now, he's stalking me. I don't want him at my housewarming because my new boo is going to be there. So don't allow him to bring his friend with him when y'all come to my housewarming. And this raggedy bitch says, okay, I got you, girl. I got you. Ain't you know? So, they eat lunch and they go their separate ways. So next we go to Ren's house, and she made a dinner for Nisha, but she's still salty about the situation with Devin and him coming into the house. And she's like, how did he get here? How did he get here? Is really what she's on. And she was like, I don't know. I told you I don't know. They trying to get into a small argument. Ren pouts a couple times and they make up. So, we then go to, a lot happened in this like 30-minute episode. So Ralph, Shador, and Deanna go shopping for Lynette's housewarming gift. Ralph is clearly like, just get whatever, because it's not my housewarming, so I really don't give a damn. I ain't trying to spend a whole bunch of money on this gift. Now, they then go to lunch after they go shopping. Well, first they look at Shador's car. They got a dent in the back, and apparently some woman whose man she was sleeping with ran into her car, beat the hell out of her car, possibly with a bat. I'm not sure, but she was like, "Oh, excuse me." She was like, I've been with her dude, so she got mad and she couldn't beat me up, so she beat up my car. Okay. So they go to Shador, Ralph, and Deanna go to lunch. And they are sitting there and they're having a conversation. And they're talking about the housewarming, and I think it's mentioned that someone named Lyric is going to be there. Or Lyric shouldn't be there because Lyric and Ralph had static. Apparently he read her for dust. Um, he got a phone call because apparently he does the hair for Nisha and somebody else. I think it's Zarby, but I couldn't be sure. He does their hair. And so he got a text message from one of the two saying, "Are you doing hair?" And he said no, because at the current time when they text him, he wasn't doing anyone's hair at that time. And they took, but it was clearly was a miscommunication because they assumed that he just wasn't doing hair at all for them or anyone else. And that's not what, excuse me, that's not what he meant. So this girl Lyric puts on Facebook that they are looking for a new hairstylist to do their hair and to ask for recommendations, and he proceeded to bless her whole soul. So he and Lyric is not on the best terms. And then Shador explains why she and Tiffany need to be separate at this party because Tiffany got drunk at some other situation where there was a gathering, and she tried to rub up on Ralph, who is clearly, he likes penis like we like penis, so that wasn't gonna work out for her. So she started to get slick at the mouth with Shador. And of course, Shador wasn't with the bullshit. So Tiffany spit at Shador, and Shador proceeded to drag her by the roots of her hair across the floor and mollywop her there. And then they inserted the footages of the said mollywopping from Ralph's camera, because he was there and he was said, "Well, I was like this, bitch." So we then I want to say that Shador is a real one though, because Deanna wanted, they were eating the dip and Shador had double dipped into the salsa. She was like, and then when Deanna wanted some salsa, she was like, "Girl, I don't know if you want this because I've double dipped, and I've been sucking dicks, and I don't want you tasting all the dicks that I done sucked because you done double dipped that after me." You's a real one, bitch, and thank you, I appreciate it. So we then go to the White House nightclub in Charlotte, and so apparently I'm assuming he's the owner. His name is Noah. And that is the same Noah that belongs to Storm, who never made it over to his home. And so she says she goes to see him to try and make it up for not following her word and doing what she said and coming straight home. And so she shows up in his coat and a bra and panties and some heels. And of course, he thinks with his small head, so of course that worked. And so they make up. So, he's not attractive. He looked kind of knocked up. But I digress. Apparently he owns a nightclub, so he got money, so he can look any fucking kind of way he wants. It is what it is. So, Carrie Boy arrives from California. He is talking to Diana's ridiculous behind about what they're going to do that weekend. She explains about the house party for Lynette. And she was like, Lynette, the one that used to have something going on with your homeboy. And he was like, "Oh, well, can I bring my homeboy?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, he can come." Bitch. Didn't this girl just tell your raggedy ass not to bring this boy because her new boyfriend was going to be at this fucking party, bitch? Another example, your friends ain't shit. Example number 2. Now, Um, she was like, yeah, I'll bring him. She was like, girl, out. And then she and her friends were like, girl, I don't know what she gonna do. It sounds like a problem to me, but it's not my issue, so fuck it. Raggedy bitches. Okay. So, um, they're at the housewarming party, and Brittany is there because she's good friends with Lynette. And so Ralph comes in, and his plus one is Zarby. The same Zarby that he called Brittany and told her man just got in the car with. He arrives with her. Example number 3, that your friends ain't shit. So you can call me and tell me my man getting in the car with this bitch, but then you turn around and show up at a party with the same bitch that just got. What about your friends? Shit. So, so Brittany goes into the kitchen and talks to Lynette, and she's like, this is the bullshit that I'm talking about. This is the bitch that just was in the car with old boo, my boo. So why would Ralph bring her here and make me feel uncomfortable? You knew I was going to be here. Why would you? And you knew that you saw my nigga get in the car with this bitch. Why would you bring this bitch to the party? So she was like, she should leave because you my friend and this is your party. And I'm not going to be the one made uncomfortable when I'm not the one in the wrong. And then Shador comes out of nowhere to tell her, bitch, what is you mad about him jumping in the car with Zarby when this nigga is married? What? This bitch is married? Okay, first of all, how did that happen? Because he's not cute. Okay, that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is, how did that happen? Because he's not cute. Father God, in the name of Jesus. So Brittany is looking stunned. He's married. Like, she had no clue that this man was married. So she was like, y'all both decide, bitches. So y'all might as well link up inside, bitch, and one of the twin powers activate, bitch. What you mad for? So, then Lynette said, I'm the queen of this motherfucking castle, and you not leaving. You my girl. I got you. Then she takes her ass over to Ralph and Zarby and was like, this my motherfucking house. I bought this motherfucking couch. Y'all sit the fuck down and get your lives together. Ain't gonna be no bullshit this evening. Not in my motherfucking house. So then in walks Nisha, and she shows up with Lyric. The same Lyric that Ralph has cussed out online. So they stand there and have a conversation, and he explains to her, when I got the message about doing hair, I thought they meant that was I doing hair right then, and the answer was no. And she was like, see, that's not what I got. I got the message from them two. They told me to put the post up asking about a hairstylist because there was a miscommunication, and they thought you weren't doing hair at all. And he was like, well, I didn't have that information. And so Lynette and Nisha walk up on him, and she's like, is everything good? And he was like, yeah, everything is good, but the information that I heard ain't good. The fact that you are the ones who put this girl up to putting that post up, talking about some, y'all need a stylist, and it was clearly a miscommunication. And so they all cleared up. No bloodshed. So, we're not going to do this. So then there's a knock at the door. She's like, who the fuck is this? So, of course, this is the piece de resistance. Deanna shows up with Corey, what's his face? Corey Boy. Sure. Okay, Corey Boy. I think is what his name is. I think that's what it is. Him and his light skin shenanigans, he show up with his very unattractive friend who happens to be the stalker that she didn't want at the fuck party to begin with, while her equally unattractive other friend is over there with this head wrap on. You know what? Okay, so she's like, what the fuck is going on? She was like, bitch, did not tell you that this motherfucker couldn't come to my party. And she's like, what? And then she gave her a ready-made lie. She's like, what, did he pop up on your outside? She's like, yeah, girl, he just showed up. Example number 4 of how your friends ain't shit. That's all I'm going to say. So that, and now she is stuck at her housewarming party with the old boo and the new boo. And we're going to see how that plays out next week. I assume it comes out, what's today, Monday? Monday's at 8 o'clock on YouTube. It's The Real Side Chicks of Charlotte. It's a bunch of garbage, shenanigans, and foolishness. And I am here for all of it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this out. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.